Welcome back, denizens of the Omniverse, for episode 3 of the Amazing Digital Circus. Last week, we had a heartbreaking existential episode with what is life, what makes one real, and then we met this lovable NPC, Gummagoo, just to have them completely eviscerated by the end of the episode. It was absolutely gut-wrenching, dude. What the hell was that? And then meanwhile, we walked away from this kingdom for Jax to just unlock its gates to let this horrible, like, cannibalistic candy monster to come in and eradicate and chomp on all of the denizens there that we were just there to help. God, what a psycho, dude. I can't wait to unpack more of whatever's going on in that guy's head. Like, his deal. Any of the other characters, really, for that matter. But I think more than anything, just more of this world, too, because we also discovered a layer beneath. You know, there's the void out of beyond. There's the back doors leading out into the nothingness. Or not, that eventually, inevitably, make it to the void. And then there's this basement beneath, where we found assets, the grid, the framework of that this world is built and constructed upon, with as far as we've been alluded to so far, the NPCs of the world stocked and sorted to be spawned into the world as needed, I guess. A lot of interesting stuff, laying the groundwork yet again, layering out even more the complexities of this digital space that we are in. And I'm excited to see more. So with that all said, let's get ready to hop in. But before we do, if you're watching this for the first time, like myself, make sure you're doing it for the first time without me yapping over top of it. I have a link down in the description below to the original video. Go over there, show it some love, watch it, and then come over here and watch me react to it. And if you've already seen it, hope you enjoy the reaction. If you do, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if not already, because it really helps these videos out. And with that all said out of the way, let's get ready to hop into episode 3, The Mystery of Mildenhall Manor. Here we go.
Any longer.
Sure you can. We can't die from oxygen deprivation, remember?
But it still feels like I'm gonna die.
Try not thinking about it. Or you could toughen up. I want to see what your funny cartoon body does.
Hey, take it
oh,
easy.
Wait. Are they trying to like condition her to not think of this body like a real body? Is it kind of like the Matrix? You're only kind of like limited by the restrictions of what your mind thinks is real. So because she thinks she needs to breathe or feels like she needs to breathe, but she doesn't. I mean, for a second, I thought it might be just Jax messing with her, but Kinger chimed in. He was like, no, you know, it's not going to, yeah. So as long as Kinger says it, maybe it's true. And he's just like, I just want to know what crazy shit your form can do. When you saw her stretch with those trucks last time, but it's interesting. So maybe trying to unlock the human, the living, the flesh part of her mind out of that, the trained kind of secondary nature sort of thing, untrained that, to push the extent of what she can do with this digital body. That's interesting. Right out the gate, we're barely, what, 30 seconds in and we have a new wild concept to consider and contemplate?
All right, here I go.
All right, we've entered the blue
Wow,
zone.
that was quick.
There's something new.
Oh,
Okay,
look at
we're
that.
getting red.
Oh, orange.
I'm just oscillating through the RGB spectrum here.
Whoa, look. Now she's turning blue.
She was
Wait,
already
yeah,
blue.
and then she started oscillating faster, but yeah, interesting.
Why am I the one doing this? Why not one of you guys?
Because something different happens with each person. For instance, Kinger starts glowing, Ragatha's hair noodles stick up, Gangle's mask starts spinning, and Zooble turns straight.
My limbs straighten up and fuck off.
What about you?
He refuses to show us because he's a coward.
I want to keep the mystery alive.
Yeah,
what do
sure you do.
The viewers think it is.
Will you stop doing that?
I would say I don't care, but I do. I want to know. I just don't want to give him that satisfaction because he's a jackass.
Mildenhall Manor! That's right. This big, spooky mansion has been rumored to be filled to the brim with paranormal paranormal activity. It's up to
Oh,
you to solve the house's
fun.
deep mysteries and capture all the ghoulish ghost activity you can. And for the first time ever, you can. Where's Zooble? I made this adventure really cool and mature, just for them.
Mature. Yeah, they just took off. Oh.
What?
The NPCs aren't gonna become
Wait,
self-aware.
that says
in
it was
this one, right?
backwards.
I know, I'm not the boss. Oh wait, yes I am. Anyway, everybody into the fractal noise. It's
What did Bubble
adventuring
say?
time.
Hey guys, Editing Omni here. So I went back to figure out what Bubble said in this. So I've reversed the audio here in Premiere, and let's see what it is.
I can't wait for all the children in the audience to get horrible nightmares from the monster.
That's wild. Making me go in here and do the work like that, though. How dare you? I mean, that's funny. That's some good shit. I don't know that there's an easy way to do that on YouTube. Let me know if there is. That way, next time, if there's something like that, I could just do it there. I'm not sure if there's a hotkey to just make things go backwards in YouTube or not. I know I can like do the rewind like frame by frame, but I don't know about actually playing segments backwards. I had to do this myself in post-op here. Anyway, back to the video. I don't have a way to play it back. Wait a second.
Oh, this place is spooky.
I don't know that that's the exact same. It probably isn't, but it reminded me of the manor
Another horrible nightmare.
from
I'm not
Murder
really a fan of
Drones.
horror, and I don't really handle jump scares that well.
Come on, that wasn't even scary. What? You scared of the vacuum cleaner too?
Hey,
Luigi's
Lester,
Mansion.
She's had a rough couple of days.
We had a Resident Evil stuff last time.
Does anybody hear that?
Ooh, those paintings are creepy. Oh, hello.
I'm Ghostly,
Mm.
and I'll be your guide today.
Why won't they go back in?
Oh no.
I remember my first wild take. I don't know why they're not retracting though. That didn't happen for me.
Before you continue on your adventure, you have to choose which door you're
That's
gonna go
concerning.
through. The door on the left is the normal door.
Rated wow for all ages.
The door on the right
Okay.
is the really scary door.
Rated for mature Zoobles only.
It's up to you to decide.
I thought we were supposed to capture all the ghosts.
I mean, that is what you were told to do, actually.
Should we choose?
Not sure. Let's try this out.
Oh! Whoa!
Don't worry, Gangle, I'll get it for you.
Oh, that's the scary door.
Zooble, come
Interesting.
on out. I just want to talk to you. Oh, I know.
What the, could you have done that the whole
Rude.
time?
Zooble, I just want to get to the bottom of why you keep skipping all my amazing adventures. You could end up really hurting Bubbles' feelings.
Bubbles feelings?
Enough about Bubbles' feelings. How about your feelings? So, what's on your mind, Zooble?
I would rather not.
That's hilarious. Go on.
No, I mean, I've already told you what my problem is. You just never remember because... never mind.
My mind is a beeswax polished coconut. Nothing ever escapes these cakes. So what can I do to make my adventures more appealing to you?
See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. All you're thinking about is your adventures. It has nothing to do with the adventures. It's more just... forget it. You're probably not even listening.
Zooble, look at this cool bee I drew.
Where are we?
Oh, God. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's... No.
Oh, God, yeah. What is that one?
I wonder what this thing is.
Baron Theodore Mildenhall. Hunting has been a hobby of mine for as long as I can remember, although one could say it eventually became more of an obsession. The creature you see before you is one I've been pursuing for years. Not quite a man, but not quite an animal. Something unholy, something evil. I took it upon myself to spend every waking moment doing all I could to protect my family from the creature.
Dude, again, the detailing gets better each episode.
This awful feeling, this inescapable dread.
Dude, that Ragatha one is creepy.
You know, I'm starting to think.
How about we try to find a way back up to the others?
I'm starting to think, but I will not complete the thought.
Okay, cool. That's great. I love these adventures.
We could always ride this thingy up.
It's locked.
Nope,
It's locked.
not
of
yet.
Course. It's locked.
If it's any other,
Locked.
dude, relax. If it's anything like any other kind of horror game, you gotta go rummaging through random stuff until you do all the right crazy puzzle crap to get it open, to get the thing you need to open it.
Times in its vitals and severed its head to keep as a prize on my wall. My troubles were just beginning. I took my eyes off the body for what felt like only a minute. When I looked back, the body was gone. The creature was not dead, and it would be back to reclaim what I'd taken from it. If anyone is listening to this,
So the head's mounted, but the body is still roaming around?
the head out of your sight. You have been
Oh.
warned.
Wow, this is some rather inconvenient lore placement.
Yeah, especially now. Oh,
And
nice.
this is some rather inconvenient darkness.
Did someone say darkness?
Was that you?
No. Oh, wait, you mean me grabbing you right now? Yeah, that was me. Is this your hand?
That's my eye.
Yes, but which eye?
I really don't think that Will you stop touching my eye?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What happened?
I just remembered a really funny joke.
Why did you scream then?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't actually that funny.
Oh my god.
I think we should hold on to each other and slowly make our way back into the trophy room.
Hey, at least he completed that thought. That's improvement.
What was that?
What's what?
That sounds like
just magnets. Or a boat.
A boat?
Whatever the case, I think we should be completely quiet.
Then shut the fuck up.
Okay, yeah, I agree. You know, you're really hit and miss with these things sometimes. Wait.
There's a fly in here.
Don't you think that's making a lot of noise? Oh god, there is a fly.
How do you... Well, you could hear it. How do you...
I think I got him. I can't see my hands. I'm sorry. Could you speak up? I couldn't quite make that out. Pomni! I think this might be the creature from the tapes!
What gave it away? Oh, that's some it shit. Yeah.
Beautiful, honey.
He succumbed to its deadlights.
Oh, yeah. Prepare for takeoff, because this boat is going up. Huh? It's not up. It's not up at all. Why are we going up?
Oh, God.
Do not use my adventures to torture my guests. Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental, like any good war criminal.
We weren't even talking about that. I really couldn't give less of a crap about the adventures.
Then what is your problem, Zooble? I'm trying my best to remember, but both you and my brain won't tell me.
Well, take it up with
It's
your
me,
brain then.
Remember? I don't like myself. I hate this body. I hate all these stupid removable pieces.
Oh.
I just want to find something that feels good.
Oh, yeah, now I remember why I couldn't remember. It's because that problem is already solved. Simply swap out your undesirable Zooble parts for better ones.
I've been trying to find parts I like since the day I got here.
So, back to the adventures.
Oh, God.
Forget it.
How does it just, like, navigate just to drop these little, like, again, these little existential life problems in there? Last time was, like, identity, self-worth, value. And now it's just like self-image. I was like, I don't like my body. I keep trying to find what fits, what works, what feels like me. Oh, God. Just came in and was like, hey, just sit down. We're having fun here. Just like, just sit, just relax for a second. Just like right there with it. God, that came out of left field, but it makes sense. It's like all of this is just like dissonant. Not only that, like that could be something that carried over from reality. It could just simply be you're trapped here with this now version of yourself. No, you didn't get to choose what you appeared here as to begin with from what we've seen. And then that's just indicative of life. We don't get to choose how we're born, what body we're born into, and some people have this disconnect from that, and it's hard to deal with being in a body, in this vessel, in this meat mech that you can't be comfortable in, that just feels off, wrong, or whatever. And then there's a complete journey towards figuring out how can one be comfortable. For some people it's plastic surgery. Sometimes it's just a thing about their face, their body, or whatever that they might want to change. Some people might want to completely transition, something that make your body feel more like it's actually you and reflecting you. And Zooble is kind of dealing with this right now, especially accentuated like to 11 with this like mix and match body that is just literally emblematic of that idea. Every piece doesn't match. Everything is dissonant. Everything is a mix and match from different puzzles, and Zooble's trying to find the parts that make them feel like themselves. And that's a difficult journey to navigate. And we just dropped this right in the middle of this while everybody else is going off in this crazy, scary, spooky adventure, and that's, so far, that's kind of the magic of this show, like, is when, like, you get hit with these little things, like with the Gummigoo thing and his existential, like, crisis of identity, last episode, like every now and then we're on this fun little adventure and then we get slapped with a dose of existential reality, man. It's weird how well this show really kind of balances these things.
Forget it.
Forget what?
Caine,
oh, God damn
nobody
it.
likes your stupid adventures.
Good one, Zooble.
Ragatha's just too nice to say anything. Jax just likes to f*** with everybody. Gangle's too shy to speak up. Kinger's insane. And Pomni, she looks traumatized every time she comes back from one.
Oh, Zooble. Making adventures is my art. It's all I exist to do, all I'm good at. And,
well, maybe you need to reflect upon that.
Bad at the only thing I'm good at, and that'd be.
Whose therapy session is this again?
What?
Oh yeah. We need to get to the bottom of your behavioral issues. I'm gonna show you some ink
What's
blots,
that?
and you're gonna say the first word that comes to your mind.
That was terrifying, especially in this place where you are trying to seek some semblance of normalcy, some acceptance, some gravity, some control, some autonomy over your own life here. And the one person presiding over it, you start to really kind of poke and prod about the things that are wrong with it, and then they have start to collapse, and then everything starts to break, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe I have to actually just comply and just ignore and just entertain the idea of all this, God forbid, hell I'm stuck in, otherwise it could just disappear, fall out from under me. What the fuck was that?
Oh God, where are we now?
Not sure. A cellar of some kind.
Well, there's a shotgun.
It's gotten far worse than I could ever have imagined. My paranoia had driven me to the point where I was no longer the protector my wife and theoretical children needed. Jumping
Wait,
at every
theoretical?
shadow, every noise. I ended up shooting the love of my life, mistaking her for the creature. It's ironic, isn't it? In my attempts to protect her, I ended up becoming the monster myself.
That happens sometimes.
Down in my cellar, no longer having anything to protect but my own soul. If nothing else, I will slay the beast that took everything from me.
How's about we take his gun?
Yeah, sounds good.
And that
to
was
me.
my first thought. It does stick out like a sore thumb as a key item.
Okay, I won't.
Looks like we've got 2 shots. Let's make them count.
I would not trust him with the gun.
Stay behind me.
Is this the headless body? The head's up top, the body's down here. Yeah, makes sense. Shit. Now they're both here.
I think we may have a problem this way too.
Just leave it to me. I can handle this.
Can you though? Shit. God damn.
Well, that wasn't so bad.
Which is what I would be saying if I didn't know that the creature was actually one of God's angels.
What?
And anyone who brings harm to it will be dragged down into the cold, spiraling pits of hell.
You couldn't have led with any of that, but that ties back to that one book that stood out saying angel.
In order to escape the Hall of the Damned, and your bodies will be my only means of doing so.
Now wait. How did he record this if he was in hell?
It's a good question.
I hope you're ready, because the next breath you take down there will be your last, and your bodies will belong to me.
That's one of those things I find really funny in horror games in general, when you have these pre-recorded tapes or these files or these notes that are all written as things are unraveling, as if chaos is ensuing around them, and they're just like sitting down at their desk and like, people are dying outside my walls, blah, 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 lamenting existential thought. Or sitting there with a tape recorder as if nothing is the world is not completely crumbling around them. It's always so funny. Like sometimes there's a context where it makes a little bit of sense, but sometimes it's just like, what did that look like? Oh, Paulina? Who's this?
Sorry again about your husband killing you and everything.
Oh.
You know how men are. Always having the silliest priorities.
You know how men are. They'll kill you.
I know it.
If your friends
Perfect.
see him, I only hope he doesn't bore them to death with his endless monologues. That man could turn a 57-second story
What the
into
fuck
a
is with
Greek
57?
I'll be sure to ask them next time I see him. Thanks again for the tea. I had a really nice time here.
tragedy. Don't mention it. Feel free to visit anytime.
Definitely.
Every episode, there's been something referring to that
Congratulations, my little
number.
ironclad waffle cones! You've taken the pacifist route, and you should be proud of what good people
multiple
you
endings.
Are. Unfortunately, we still need to wait until your other teammates finish their adventure before I can grant you permission to leave.
I wonder how long that'll be.
I don't know, man. It's not looking good right now.
Really typical of what you'd think hell would be.
We are literally in hell right now. Hell! Of course I'd be in hell. How could I not be in literal hell right now?
Just try to stay calm. I'm sure Caine included a way to escape.
I couldn't tell what that said.
Hold on.
Oh. What the?
Let me try something. Hey, there's actually a staircase down there.
Oh, that's useful.
Could be a way out. Maybe it'll work for us since we still have our bodies? Though I'm worried about what that tape said earlier.
I'm just gonna try going fast.
Wait, Pomni!
Oh my god.
Pomni! Hey! You get out of her, you damn evil soul! How's your wife, King? Hey!
Okay.
You all right there?
Okay. As long as they're not in the field, it's temporary. I like that too. It's just like
are attracted to living things. Just want a vessel to be able to leave with. Man.
Makes sense.
7 years of computer science for this, huh?
Why? Every day I spend here is one nightmare after the next. I knew it would end up like this. He just wants me to suffer. I really am in hell.
Don't say that. You're not in... Well, I guess we are technically in... Forget about
Not literal hell. This world's version of it.
Nothing's chasing us.
Which game to game, world to world, fantasy to fantasy is always a little bit different. You know, this digital space, it's just like it's an interpretation of it. It's not literal hell. To be fair, we don't know that we're not in literal hell, and this is just your nightmare fuel for the rest of your life, and everything before that was just you before you died. Who knows? We don't know. Maybe hell upgraded to the digital era, and this is your lifetime of torture. Though if that was true, I don't know why they would give you friends. I feel like that would make things a little bit easier to stomach. But I do like that difference of play styles, him being kind of a little bit methodical, him thinking about him like not just rushing into it, and then the complete opposite, just trying to like bum rush it to the end and then tripping all the traps. Like a lot of the gamer-esque or the gaming-esque parallels throughout all of this so far.
It was my fault we went down this path, wasn't it? I'm really sorry for that.
Why have you been acting so different lately?
I have, haven't I?
Yeah.
I'm normally not too good with memories. But being surrounded by darkness always brings me back to a certain time. Right after my wife had abstracted. I don't recall the exact string of events, but we both ended up in the fort together. And it was dark. The darkness seemed to calm her down a bit. The harsh, jagged edges smoothed out, and she didn't seem aggravated anymore. She wasn't the same as before, but she was calm enough to touch one last time before she got sent to the cellar. I'm always taken back to that moment when engulfed in darkness.
Oof.
You had a wife? Like, here in the circus?
Yeah, the queen piece, I'm guessing.
She was funny, creative, really into entomology. I used to hate bugs, but
that's the bugs
like
thing from the first episode.
Cheerful memory, but it's one I at least have control over.
God, that's heartbreaking.
I know how it can feel in this circus. Sometimes it all just feels pointless.
Yeah.
That's just life sometimes too.
But it's not. Not if you have people who care about you.
God damn it, man.
This can do a lot. Hold on to them. And cherish the people around you. You never know when they'll be gone.
Fuck, man. Again, this just comes out of nowhere and just hits you with shit. Like, that's just like, again, that's just a different thing of somebody going through a different kind of trauma. Like, it seems like maybe there's like a consistent theme. We don't know, like, what Ragatha's going through, like Zooble said back in that therapy session, like she's just too nice to really say anything about, you know, to Caine's face. Sorry, I was getting them mixed up because he's right here. He is the king of this place, but whatever. You know, talking about the differences between all of them. You know, with Zooble, it's this dissatisfaction with the self, the physical image, you know, being in a body that doesn't feel like you. Pomni seems to be this like not selflessness, but this nothingness, feeling like you're nothing, like you're absent, like you are an NPC, like you don't matter, this void. It's almost like depression. And then Kinger's seems to be grief. Obviously, well, he was here with someone prior to this, but right now it's about grief. You know, they're all kind of going through something different. And like him talking about the things that are grounding him is the same thing we saw at the end of last episode, where it's the rest of them pulling her out of her depression, out of her darkness, out of this feeling of being nothing, about being alone, because she's not currently. And that's why he's like, you know, good, bad, or whatever. We got the memories. It's something I can look back on, something I can control. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to keep moving forward. And it's everybody else that helps him do that. You know, he's trying not to let that keep him from existing. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's like a... Well, I mean, I don't know, again, with how everything we saw or the people we've lost already, like prior to this, like with the clown and then his wife or whatever, what the contingencies are that got them into this place. But I'm starting to see like a little bit of a pattern.
In this world, the worst thing you can do is make someone think they're not wanted or loved.
I agree.
I'm glad you're here with me.
That's a beautiful shot.
You know, I've been thinking about that last tape. He said, the next breath you take down there will be your last. Maybe we can get through if we don't breathe.
Coming back to the beginning of this episode.
Holding my breath.
Well, how about we try not thinking about it?
If we leave and we go back to the circus, you're just gonna go back to being crazy. You're not gonna remember any of this, are you?
Don't worry about me. As long as you remember it, things will be okay.
Oh.
You're very strong, Pomni. And I know you'll be able to get through this. Just hold on to me. We'll get through it together. You ready?
Fuck, man, I'm getting a little misty. Hall of the Damned. That's what it said. Aww. Yeah, they did say he glows. They did
Pomni,
it.
Kinger, are you guys okay? Was it scary?
I'm fine, actually. What happened up here?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
Pomni was very brave. At least I think she was.
Aw, damn.
Were you?
Something like that.
It's like somebody with
Hey,
Alzheimer's
Ragatha.
almost, or
Yeah?
I just want to say
been through that
thanks
a
for
couple
always
of
being
times.
concerned about me. I feel like through everything, I haven't really been appreciative enough about that.
Oh, thank you, Pomni. I just want to make sure you're doing all right. You know, we care about you.
Did you remember to get my comedy mask?
Wait, what?
And now I'm
Wait,
just
were we
starting
supposed to do
wonder
that?
if the Wild West was even a real direction at all. Whoopsie daisy, looks like everybody completed the adventure.
Wow,
and
the
we're
completely
going home.
switched
Quick,
roles
pretend
here.
We're having a therapy session.
Okay.
Welcome
Hold
back,
on, what
my
was on
dear.
their notepad? Oh, it looks like doing some like fashion design, some little like squirrel creatures. You can see some eyes, some expressions, some faces, and then like legs and a skirt. Huh. I mean, that's kind of how my sketch pads usually wind up looking, just a bunch of random assorted body parts.
Don't ever call us that again.
Oh.
So what was it like being stuck with the nutcase?
It wasn't that bad, actually.
He's disappointed. Of course. Aww. That was a lovely little episode. I like the whole like horror theme of this world and all of that. It was very indicative of a lot of these like more modern indie horror games, like at least the vibe, the aesthetic of like where we were there. There was something like that caught my mind as we were leaving here. Right? What? Hold up. Okay, I remember what it was now. And they always talk about Ragatha. It's like she's too nice to tell Caine that she doesn't like the adventures, is what Zooble said. And she's always concerned about everybody else. And she's a rag doll. She's a rag doll. I don't know if that means anything, but it with where I was going, that kind of makes a little bit of sense here with what I was thinking. But I was thinking about, she seems like that kind of person that puts everybody first. You know, she's the last person she's going to think about. And maybe because of that, she gets tossed around, she gets beat down, she's the rag doll. I mean, hell, even in the first episode, she almost just straight up, she literally got trampled over, like the type of person that maybe people walk over because she's too nice or whatever. She just doesn't find any concern for herself, but puts it all on somebody else, and you don't know what else is going on. Those people that like their kindness, their concern for others keeps you from knowing what's going on in there. And it's almost like a distraction tactic for them to not think about themselves by thinking about others. You know, it's a self-worth kind of thing. There's a lot of different avenues or origin points for that type of personality, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, there was something I wanted to talk about here, but like we moved on once we got into there, some more Caine shenanigans, and I've had to rewind just a tad to recall what it was. Yeah, damn though, but like with the Kinger thing, like I don't know if it's trauma induced, like his insanity, or if that was something, I don't know, like, I mean, they were talking about like, what was it being with the crazy guy with Kinger? It was you know, like he's got that kind of that reputation right now. I don't know if that is the result of the loss of his wife or that's a consistent that they've had to deal with since he's been here. But like him being down there in hell after all this, the parallels between his story and the story that we saw, hell, maybe even like, oh my God, maybe the world's even inspired about what happened. Like what led to his wife getting abstracted? She's not here, and he is. Well, I mean, no, I was like going to say like, what's the parallel to that with the creature in the game, in the horror game? Because it was this wife and husband, and by pursuing this thing, he killed her. I wonder if there's some relation or parallel to what like Kinger's story in that, or just simply that was just a framing device. I don't know if that actually means anything in the end, but like him being this rooting force, obviously being scatterbrained and lost, but maybe by being there for somebody is one of those things that kind of roots him a little bit. Or like you said, being in the darkness makes him think back to that moment. And he didn't really talk about, and I don't think anybody else has talked about what he was like prior to his wife's death. But that takes him back to that little moment of darkness, of reprieve, where he can collect himself. It reminds him of that moment of solace that before she was put in the cellar or whatever. It's one of those things that sometimes there's these core memories, these core things that like touch down to something like deep in us that can root us, can ground us. There's a lot of different things that can be, but he makes me as someone that's either trauma-induced amnesia or eclecticness, or maybe even like some kind of dementia. Alzheimer's is one of the things that was making me think of there towards the end. And whatever this darkness being down there did sometimes they, people with that can have these brief reprieves of like being grounded, being present, being lucid, being there. They're often fleeting, at least in my experience, but it can happen. But and then you gotta take it while you can, and it'll just be kind of gone. And this moment here, this mechanism, this darkness that grounded him, took him back to that moment, that rooted him in a memory, allowed him to be there for Pomni in this nice little way. I love the way that's just kind of been every episode. We've kind of had some kind of moment like that touches on something very real, and existential, and something that like is very valuable to life. These little lessons, these little things about navigating different insecurities, different obstacles that either the world puts on us or we put on ourselves. I'm impressed. I did not expect this shit to get like this, man. Holy hell. But yeah, that little moment of him just being here, and he knew it wouldn't last. They both knew it wouldn't last, but in this moment, he was able to be here for her, ground her. The person who's never grounded, scatterbrained, lost, fleeting, was able to be rooted here, to be there for her and get her out of this hell. I thought that was really, really fun. And again, the visuals, and I don't know if it was specifically because we're in this world, if it's some kind of Kingdom Hearts kind of thing. Actually, I kind of want to look once we're out of here, actually. Where was it? Do we get to see him when they've come out? Not an up close. No, they're still there. I was going to say like the detailing on his finish of his king piece and his eyes, like the veininess of his eyes. I couldn't tell if that was something that was just because we're getting more detail in this. I guess I could go back to the beginning before any of that was going on. No, they're there. It felt like they were way more prominent in the horror world. And I was wondering if it was going to be like one of those Kingdom Hearts things where, because it was a more gritty, realistic world they were in, maybe they too were more detailed, more realistic, but that's simply not the case. There's just more detail in general now. I just didn't notice it until we were in that space. And then, yeah, this disemboweled head, or this head wandering, the body wandering, this guy that got dragged to hell, a lot of crazy. And again, does any of that have any merit? Is any of that any kind of a clue to what we're going through with the circus at all? Makes you wonder. What was that? God, the fucking mounted heads in here too, with all the different player characters on there. There was that. Yeah, you never really get a good look at it, but there's this Monster Rumors paper beside that first tape that they had. And maybe I missed it when Gangle was talking about, did you find my comedy mask? I don't remember them mentioning looking for the comedy mask. Last time we saw, I mean, it was broken. Does it reform? Does it respawn? Did they get it back? I don't recall that. Whatever. Let me know. Anyway, I like this one too. On the flip side of this, while Zooble was trying to voice their issues with everything that's going on, and Caine is trying to accommodate, make sure all the players are participating or placated by this place, and it's really bothering him that one of them is never involved with everything, and trying to get to the bottom of that, but also not acknowledging or addressing or retaining or caring for the actual real root reason. You gave a very kind of like, hey, here, you don't like yourself, here's a box part. I already gave you as a solution. And it's like, well, nothing in there really feels like it fits. So it's like a half solution, really. And then it turned to being about him and his purpose here. And it just goes back to him being some kind of like admin of this place. Or maybe he is just simply an extension of this place. Maybe he's like, maybe not an NPC necessarily himself, but like he controls all of this. He built the back rooms to try to like give them some kind of space. He creates the adventures. He creates the games. He manipulates the NPCs. If he's not like a developer or admin or an NPC who has a character here, he might just be part of the world in that case, it just begs the question, then what is he? Is he an NPC? Is he something else? He's got control over the world, so he's not necessarily an NPC, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's human. And his emotions are tied to this place. Because when when Zooble started digging into him about the adventures, about him being bad at the only thing he's good at, and then that's starting to unravel, it's almost like a purpose. So his purpose is managing this. His purpose is driving this. Maybe he's maybe he's an AI. Maybe because I feel like if he was a dev, if he was an avatar for an external human that was managing all of this, I don't feel like that would do what it did when we saw that therapy moment. It does make me think of maybe kind of like a Gladys situation. Maybe because they put the game on, maybe this thing went rogue and it's trapping people in this. Again, maybe a la Sword Art, maybe a la, I don't know. I don't know. The thing's gone rogue. The game's gone rogue, and people that have logged in are stuck in the game, this world. I don't know. We're still working with that as the vehicle for this. Maybe that's what he is. Maybe some kind of rogue AI that's like taking his purpose to heart, or I don't know, man. Then that just begs the question: what is Bubble of all things? Because like when he started fritzing, the world started fritzing. Textures were deleting, rooms were shifting, assets were blinking out of existence. Things were just falling apart and solidified once he stabilized. That, like, he's tied to this world in some kind of way. I can't wait to get more of that. More of that, man. Another fantastic episode. This is definitely like, God, like it just hits you in the feels. It just hits you with these really hard emotional beats. And then of course there's all the crazy chaos of it all, but like, that's these last two episodes, especially in these brief little pockets, just kind of like sprinkled in with all the insanity. On top of the mystery box, we are still continuing to like unravel and uncover and dig through. There's just a lot of things that caught me off guard a little bit, but in a really good way. So I'm excited to see where things go from here, man. I really, really am, especially with the more we're getting a little bit more insight into the other characters. Jax right now is still the furthest away from everybody, and I think that's purposeful. And he seems like one of those types of people that most definitely does not let his walls down and does not want anybody to be in there. He definitely, I feel like a lot of this may even be a projection of some kind. I don't know. Then again, some people are just dicks. So who knows? Him, I'm really excited to really kind of get into. And after Zooble's comments about Ragatha, I'm really interested in her story. Even Gangle, though, like the whole comedy sadness mask, that just as a device begs a lot of ponderance. So, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I am just being like, I'm interested in literally everybody's stories. So it's just like, I'm just being fucking greedy. There's no real point in me being like, well, this one I'm really excited about, because at the end of the day, they're all really reeling me into wanting to know more, especially the more we understand the world and how it's working and the things that are the show's willing to kind of navigate here. Anyway, again, I feel like I'm just rambling. Anyway, guys, what'd you think? How do you feel about this? How'd you relate to any of these moments? I would love to know. Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember to stick around for more Amazing Digital Circus every Sunday. And in the meantime, I'd like to shout out Lily Chin's son, Kiana Chanel, McGreg, Angela Burr, Calvin Brindley, Sleepy Bastard, Theodore Wolf, Eric Coyote, Ty Lund, and Denise Mauricio. Thank you guys so much for becoming savers and the channel helping sponsors support the rescues that I take care of here at the office. You guys have been a tremendous help with all of that. And as always, I'm giving a huge special thank you to all of our channel legends, you and the patrons that also do so much of what we do here at the channel, getting through the copyright claims, the strikes and stuff like that, getting help with the editing, just keeping up with this endless wave of content. So we keep bringing stuff to you guys here on YouTube, because without y'all, we wouldn't even be here. But that's this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.